Right.
Just
Oh
cloud it
man.
out. That's how we gonna do it, man. But we got something for that.
Yeah, we got something for sure.
Yeah, it's going down.
Absolutely, man. Let's-
See, now I can't put it in when I be clearing my voice. So you gonna hear it.
You can't clear your throat now.
I got
You
to.
can't clear your. Wait. You hear that?
Yeah. What was it?
I don't know.
Are they listening? I think they listening.
No, I don't know if they listen.
Hold on, they should be listening.
No, I don't think they're listening yet.
Hold on, man. Sit back.
Yeah, you're live.
Oh yeah, you know we are. You
What to
ain't
say?
what's going on.
Yeah, I think
You're live.
Chris. Hold on. Wait. You mean to tell me that we're live in like we're live right now?
Live.
Right now. Live from Los Angeles. It's Chris Smith and Richard Hoggle.
Hey, what's good? Hey, okay. Chris.
What's up?
So we're actually live right now, bruh.
Come on, man. It's the first time, man. It's going down tonight.
Man, okay. It's going down.
Let's get it. Come on.
Now, okay. All right, y'all. So if you're just now tuning in, like right now at 7:01, Pacific time, me and Chris, we gotta do the welcome.
Come on.
Welcome. Video. Welcome to Man Radio. Or, we got to call it Man-to-Man Radio, Man-to-Man Video, Man-to-Man. What's good, Chris?
That's what you're doing. You're tuning in to Man. Welcome to the show that's going to keep you hyped. This is your break getting to Friday. Welcome. We appreciate y'all coming tonight.
So Chris, I mean, we've done so many different topics because, I mean, obviously this is video now.
Yeah.
This is our first video show. And we've done, we gotta, of course, thank Blog Talk, and all that stuff or whatever.
Definitely.
But we really gotta thank, our producer, Tony Breedlove from the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network, because she put this whole thing together for us to do this video live on Facebook, on our Man-to-Man radio page.
Yep.
And so if you didn't share this video yet, you need to share. Like
send
share
it. Everybody.
Speaking of sharing, I'm about to share the video my dang self. I'm about to go into the page right now. And Chris, I think you should do the same thing.
I just did it, but you know what? I'm gonna have to do it again because I need to make sure all my friends, all my family, co-workers, everybody joins in.
And see, here's the thing. Now we get to see, like, oh, okay, this person logged in, but we don't get to see, we get to see this person logged in, that person logged in. See, that's the part that I love about this, It's actually pretty dope. But with all seriousness, we have to thank Tony Breedlove. The past couple of weeks we've been off because she's been working on the back end, her and the team, they've been working, putting everything together, to really make this happen. So thank you, Tony. Like, our hats go off to you. You know what I'm saying?
Tony, you fucked up. You fucked up. You should have never let me be live. I'm just gonna tell you that now. You thought I was straight when I was on the phone. You done messed up. Ain't no bullshit now. You gonna see all of this.
Hey, we can't just mute you now. We can't mute you, Chris.
Nope. Ain't no more of that.
So here's the thing, man. So tonight's topic, I mean, before we get into tonight's topic, we've had some pretty interesting shows that I think people need to go over to the Hot Topics Talk Radio.com website and check out some of our previous shows that we've had. Because we said we did the show, let's see, Why Do Men Cheat? Right? We did Why Do Men Have Side Chicks?
Mm-hmm.
What else did we do?
Bro, man, if I sit up here and go down this list, you wouldn't even believe all the shows we've done. I mean, we've done literally over almost like 20-something shows.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, we've talked about a lot of different things, and we try to encourage the listeners, like, look, if you're a woman, listen to what we got to say. Hear the show. You might like it, you might not like it. It's all good. But we're gonna tell you the real. And here's the thing, Chris and I, we don't always agree. We don't always agree, right, Chris?
You damn right we don't.
You know I love you.
Damn right we don't.
Yeah, I know damn right. Yeah, I know damn right we don't.
Well, like I said,
but,
you better come with no bullshit. Let's go.
Hey, but let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. At some point, one thing I do respect is that you are a very, very smart and logical person. Okay. You know? And so one thing I do respect about your perspective, brother, is you are speaking
straight from the soul.
Speaking straight from the soul. And I mean, what more can you ask for, right? Exactly. So we're gonna give you some raw, uncut talk. We're gonna give you, it's gonna be live. You know, there might be some cursing. You know, we just got one rule. And what's that rule, Chris? What's that rule? You know the rule.
Respect. That's
it.
What we always ask for is respect. You can come on here, have your opinions, write your comments. We want to hear it, but at the end of the day, show respect. And I tell you, like I told you when we was on the line, you try to talk mess, I'm going to chop you down.
Chop them down.
You ain't nothing but a tree in the forest. And I got I got every tool to knock you down.
Yeah, so Chris, let's jump right into it, man.
Let's go, bro.
I mean, well, also, wait, before we actually really jump into it, we have to thank the sponsors. You know what I mean? We have to thank the sponsors because without the sponsors, you know, we wouldn't have been able to switch over to, you know, doing the whole video and everything like that. So, of course, we got to thank Ninth Island, you know, Culture Club. Let's see, who else? Who else do we have to thank? We have to thank SPMG Media. You know, thank you know,
Africa.
Yeah, Shades of Africa. You know, they holding us down. I mean, so thank you guys for continuously showing your support to, you know, the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network, as well as all of the shows like Real World News, you know, Hot Topics with Tony Breedlove, you know, as well as the hottest show that's on right now, Man to Man Radio, with me, Richard Hall, and my brother from another mother, Chris Smith. So let's get into it, Chris. So look, man. The topic for this week's show was, you know, we're married. Mm-hmm. Now what? You know, and I think a lot of times, I mean, you know, I can only speak for myself.
Okay.
When I got married almost kind of like, you know, my dad was kind of hating on me getting married a little bit because I was young. I was 23, I believe, 23, 24 when I got married.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and honestly, I don't think I was mentally mature enough at that time to take on some of the responsibilities that I signed up for.
Yeah, of course not.
But I took them on, you know, and my wife and I, you know, we've had our ups and downs. We kind of, you know, we've been figuring our way out, and you know, hey, we've been together 16 years and we've been married 15 years now. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say all of these years have been super happy.
Hell
you know,
no.
Because because it's a tug of war. It's a, you know, it's a different. She was raised one way. I was raised another way.
Right. Every week's an adventure.
Right. Every day. Not every week. Every day.
Stay tuned.
Right. And so, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, with this topic, we can, you know, talk about things that maybe some of the challenges that we've kind of overcome, because you've been married for a long time too.
Too long, man. Too long. Too long. But you know what? It's been a journey. You know,
okay.
It's a battle that continues to go on every week. You know, we grow. You know, like I said, like you, I was young when I got married, so you know, I'm different from that person that I was when I said I love you, and I was all in her heart and all in her shirt, like I love you, baby, don't want to let you go, man. You know, real life set in after a while, and you got to make adjustments to kind of, you know, find that love, that balance and stuff. So, you know, marriage ain't easy, but it's like at the end of the day, when you look at a lot of things, you realize it's worth it.
But okay, so for you feel like it's really worth it. So
yeah, I mean, I go through my moments where, you know, one of the things that, you know, just to be all the way honest about it, I think the only thing I regret is I never lived on my own. Because like I have friends where it's like, they have their own place and, they got to experience just coming home to their own self and doing certain things. So it's kind of like, I think a part of me every so often wishes I got to experience that.
Okay. So so living alone and maybe, would you feel like you would have been able to find yourself a little bit more prior to getting married, or if you would have done that?
I don't know, because see, my thing was, and see, I didn't look. It just to put it out there and be it sounds a little embarrassing, but whatever. I never saw myself as like marriage material. I didn't think I was that type of guy. I figured, have my nice little condo or my nice little townhouse, couple cars. I said, I like having sex, so I said at the end of the day, I probably would end up with about 1 or 2 baby mamas. So,
right. Wait, who doesn't like having sex?
What I'm just saying, that was like, I figured I said I would end up probably with like 1 or 2 baby mamas, and I said that would just be it. And what was weird about it was because, my parents wasn't married when growing up. So for me, it just seemed normal. I wasn't going to live in the house with my kids, but I'd come and take care of them and do all that stuff. So that was kind of like that was normal to me.
So that was like the example, like, and you were thinking like, okay, this is how life should be, basically.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I feel that because, growing up, for me, my mother and father, they were married, but my father, he worked all the time. And maybe one day we'll get into like the dynamics of my father, because my father, he was an amazing man, but he very complex, very, very complex person, which
he like Shaft. He's a complicated man.
yeah, to a degree. And it's interesting because, I love my father, God rest his soul, because I give him the most respect because he was always 100% with the way he was. But growing up, there were many nights and many times where, I didn't see my dad.
Yeah.
My dad didn't work a 9 to 5 where, he'd come home every day at the same time, he didn't, we didn't go fishing. There were so many different things, but, for a time that worked for my mother and him, for a time, and later on it didn't work, and so for me getting married, what's that?
I said, like most situations nowadays, a lot of people, it's just what happened.
Yeah, but they were best friends all the way up until he died. My mother and father were best friends all the way up until he passed away. But see, here's the interesting thing. I wanted to get married because I found my soulmate. I found the person I felt that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. Now, did she have baggage? Yes. Did I have baggage? Yes. But, against all odds, we were going to work through it. Now, one of my friends, man, he went through an interesting marriage, but then he just got married not too long ago. And he's the first person, like, I've heard of people doing this, but he's the first person that like actually went to like counseling before he got married.
Oh, I did too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Why did I know that?
Because your pastor probably wasn't pushing it. Because I know before we did it, they was like, you're going to have to come in a couple times, let us see you. But them black churches. And then you got to try to come to our church at least a couple of times. Man, if you don't get out of here, just marry us and get on out of here.
Oh, come on, stop it.
Hey, but shout out to him for doing the job. But, that's all we paid you for, bro.
Wait, no, what I'm saying is I thought it was, so how was that experience for you then when you went through the counseling, prior to getting married? Did it, like, were there certain things that came out where it was like, oh, I didn't know that about her, or?
Nah, because we was too young. See, the thing is, it's like we saw some things and it helped us to understand some of the things that we were going to go through. But the only ththing that I always tell people that I think, and this is why I say at some point we got to do a show on this, is because nobody tells the real on what you're really going to deal with. You have people that'll say, oh, you're going to bicker, you're going to fight, but you got to still love them. Hell no, because that don't even apply in most of these fights that you're going to have. It's like, be real. It's going to be some times where y'all hate each other. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to figure out how to get through that. And the thing is, being young, going to that, it's like, we heard it, but we still in that la la land. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you too. So
Right.
at the end of the day, that went right over the head. But when
And
you
then,
grown,
and
you
then
think
sex
about real
fixes
stuff.
everything, right?
What'd you say?
Sex fixes everything.
Right.
You know, that's the thing. I think that sex fixes like everything, even the arguments. And you never, well, at least I've seen it's a temporary band-aid.
That don't work for me.
No, it doesn't work for me either, because what ends up happening is the problem never goes away, and it just festers. And then next thing you know, when it comes back up, it's like, oh, okay, sex isn't going to fix it. And then that's what leads to divorce. Because, I mean, think about it. There's a divorce rate right now of 54%. Is it because people just say, forget it, throw in a towel, or do they get married for the wrong reasons, or what? Like, what do you think it is?
There are no roles. Everybody's a boss in the relationship. Everybody has their own. It's like they don't feel like anybody needs anybody nowadays. So it's kind of like when you together, it's like, oh, if he start tripping or she start tripping, shoot, I'll go find me the next one. And that's kind of the mentality now. So it's not nobody's really putting up a fight to hold on to nobody nowadays.
Right. And I agree with you on that. So with some of the things, I mean, what are some of the things that you've witnessed with some of the married couples? Because you said that, like, oh man, we need to talk about the stuff, how you don't like them for a little while, or you might hate that person. What are some of the things that I think that maybe you've experienced where you just felt like, oh my God, I can't stand her right now? If you feel comfortable enough.
Come on, man. Hey, that's one thing about me. I'm always going to tell you what it is a lot. And I get some backlash from it every now and then, because some people will be like, oh, you shouldn't put that kind of stuff out there. But see, my thing is this. If you're going to look at a real relationship, look at mine. And at the end of the day, you get to make your own decisions on how everybody else, what they showing you. Because for me, I feel like I'm going to show you exactly what it is. And I'll say some of the stuff that really pissed me off is just more so like you start getting too comfortable and you think that things
man.
Like you take things for granted. And that's one of my biggest things that has pissed me off, because it's been more like, you just think I'm supposed to do this. And I'm like, girl, you should see these other men out here. Sometimes I want to be like, hell, I need you to go out here and start dating so you can see what's really going on.
But okay, I can understand that. I mean, that's one way to look at it. But I mean, to make them go out and like feel like, okay, you need to go dating. Maybe so you feel like personally you've experienced where you've been taken for granted.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because see, like me, I'll say that I feel like that, and I think everybody could kind of feel like they're taken for granted.
Mm-hmm.
My wife could feel like that, because I'm assuming that she's gonna, pick up the clothes and put them in the dirty hamper sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she assumes that I'm just supposed to, go out and do this, sometimes. So I mean,
them clothes should have been in the dirty hampers in the first place.
But no, I'm just saying, I'm using it as an example, man. I'm using it as an example. But I'm just saying, like, it's real interesting, because I think there needs to be, because when you get married, you marry a person because you found that certain magic.
Right.
You found that certain magic, like, within that person that made you feel special. Now, some people, they get married for the wrong reason. They get married because they just want to be married. Exactly,
because that's what I was about to say, especially depending on the age. Because some of y'all women in y'all 40s talking about, shoot, I need to. He looked like a good man. He bought me a piece of gum earlier. I guess I may as well make this work.
He took me to McDonald's, girl.
Girl, he took me out and said we ain't going Dutch. I said, damn it, bro.
Right, exactly.
What's your sign?
Right. Well, no, and that's the thing, man. I think, like, when it's all said and done, people do get married for the wrong reasons.
Right.
And so I think, number one, going to like some type of spiritual counseling prior to getting married is key. I think that's really important, man, because, at least you can kind of paint a picture and get a picture of who you're actually marrying, because after 5 years, wouldn't you agree? I mean, after 5 years, you're not the same person that you're
definitely not.
Right?
Yep.
I'm not the same Richard that was, wearing all the silver, wearing all the earrings, and with the curly top. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I'm
still
not.
that. I'm still
Yeah, I
that.
mean,
That ain't
look,
going away.
I'll wave up, throw some shades on, call it a day. But you know what I mean? We change in marriage. And I think we have to be willing to change instead of throwing in the towel. And then, well, let me ask you, how did you deal with your first, like, real argument in your marriage?
Man, that was so long ago. First real argument.
Yeah.
I'll tell you like this. Back then, she was still too in love with me to probably argue with me back. So at the end of the day, if I argue, we had a big argument, she probably wanted to let it go quickly. Nowadays, she talking shit back. So
yeah, right.
she talking shit back. So at the end of the day, we done had this argument, but I'm still hearing her. I got to hear her mouth now. So,
okay.
But I'll tell you like this.
So she gonna tell you, she's gonna give you a piece of her mind.
Look, but I don't think we really had like I'll tell you, I thought things started getting real bad probably around like the 5th year. And the reason why was because it's the arguments that you have, and they supposed to go away after you're done talking, but they still lingering throughout the week. You know what I mean? And then you start to question, like, should I start putting some money to the side? Because you ain't about to catch me slipping out here. Like, oh, you leave? Oh, okay, cool. Bang, cash. I'm ready. You know what I mean?
That's scary though, to think that, but it could have been maybe some things that led up to that big argument that made you feel like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where the small things that kind of just built up, because like with me and my wife, she hates when I talk about her on the show. She hates it. Like, she really hates it when I talk about her on the show. But tonight I have to kind of make an exception a little bit. Because with me and my wife,
every goddamn show. What are you talking about?
Huh?
You talking about every goddamn show? Why are you talking like this brand new?
Well, I'm just saying. Well, I got to
put my bullshit face on. I told you.
No, what I'm saying is we had a lot to get through, because what my wife went through before we got married was devastating. I mean, it was traumatic. Some of her life experiences. And a lot of prayer and a lot of advice, and her mom helped out a lot, and things like that to get us through. What's that?
To help you get her?
What'd you say?
A lot of prayer and a lot of advice. Her mom helped to help you get her?
No. What I'm saying is, I'm just saying it was one of those things where I really had to learn how to exercise patience, because there was a lot of things that my wife knew, and there was a lot that she didn't know, about me and about, what my, like, and I don't know if because, we were dating for like a year, and I was like, I know this is the woman I want to marry. Like, I'm going to marry her.
Yeah.
I didn't have a blueprint. I had my examples of marriage, what I watched on TV, like Claire and Dr. Huxtable and Uncle Phil and his wife. Those were my examples of like what I thought a good marriage was.
Yeah.
Because like I touched base a little bit earlier, like with my dad was always working, and there were times when I was crying, like not able to see my dad growing up. And so I wanted to be a father that was going to be around his kids. I wanted to be a husband that was going to, be there for my wife,
But see, that's the difference between this generation. And it's like, I know you said you were sad that your dad wasn't around, but I mean, to be honest with you, like back then, a lot of the dads wasn't around like that. They worked. Like, I don't really remember too many of my friends and all their dads being at certain things. Like, you was lucky if your dad got off work on time. I mean, most of my friends, their dads got home late. So
right.
They weren't at basketball. They weren't, they weren't home to ask questions and stuff like that. I was fortunate. I had my dad around to be able to, watch sports and stuff. But one thing to me about like marriage is it's weird because it has its transitions to where it's like
definitely
we become different people to each other, and it's like trying to find that balance again. And sometimes that take a while. And one thing that I know for me, I'm not one for not communicating. So if you don't tell me what's going on with you and you letting stuff linger, I'm gonna just stop talking to your ass because I ain't got time for it.
But do you think that that's the fair approach, to just stop talking?
Well, see, that's the thing. It depends on who the person is, because see, for me, I'm gonna stop talking because if I'm asking over and over, I'm not, goddamn it, you an adult. You understand the question. This ain't multiple choice.
Okay.
What's wrong? It's simple. Either you can come and tell me now, or you just got to come and tell me later. So if I'm asking you multiple times, now I'm going to just be quiet, and I'm going to wait for you to come and talk to me. Now, you got some women that'll be like, well, why you stop doing that? Because I ain't talking to no dummy. I told you already what's going on. I'm not going to sit up here and, chase you down to figure out what's going on with you. I love you, but at the end of the day, I got to take care of myself. I can't be focused on you. And part of that also has to do with if you have kids, too.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. And I think a lot of those different dynamics, because we live in an age now where everything just happens so fast, and it happens backwards. People
definitely,
it happens backwards. It's like I'm dating this girl for 15 years. We got a 10-year-old, 11-year-old together, and we just got married. We've been married for 2 years, but now I can't stand the girl, so I'm out.
Hey, don't make no damn sense.
Right.
I never understand that. Like, you can really be with somebody for so long, and then the moment you get married, now it's a problem. Like, now you just can't stand it. Like, what's so different? Like, that's one thing I would tell people. And there's nothing really different about marriage, except there's a level of responsibility that should basically be unspoken. Like, you just know this is your responsibility. You know what I mean?
Right. I know exactly what you mean. I mean, even the thing I've heard before too. It's we didn't get married because it's better for us to just be boyfriend and girlfriend. We're just committed to each other. And these people, they've been with each other for like 20 years, 15 years, things like that. I never really understood that.
I don't either. It doesn't make sense. But at the same time, who do you blame in that situation? Because I'm more so like this. As a man, we're always going to just do what we think we should do. If we don't grow up in an environment where we feel like we need to get married, then guess what? We dating for a while, or we going to date until we break up. And then he's on.
Yeah.
But as a woman, you might not have seen that growing up, but it's and I might be wrong. I just feel like it's naturally in your DNA. It's natural. There are certain steps to women's life that should just happen. So if you're dating, the next transition is to want to be married or to want to have kids, whichever direction you choose to go with that. But that's a natural instinct for a woman, not for a guy. So if you dating a man for almost 10, 15 years, I'm sorry to say this, but more than likely it's your fault, because it's what you decided to accept.
Right. He's probably not marrying her. You're right. You're right about that. Because why should he?
Mm-hmm. He got
why
it.
should he? He's been with her.
Mm-hmm.
He already given them all the goods, like they married. So what's the point of it for them?
Exactly.
And that's the thing. I think there's so much miscommunication, especially in the newbie type of relationships. The first 5 years, the critical years.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be 7. Remember, they used to say, 7 years is like the critical years.
It's that 7 year too. Like I said, I hit it a few different times. Different times. Still bumping into that road now.
Yeah. There are tough times, but like with me and my wife, I'm not going to say we're perfect, but one of the things that I think we found was our magic. Okay. We found what works for us.
Y'all bought sex toys? Is that what you're talking about? Y'all bought sex toys?
We found what works for us, and then at the same time, we keep a lot of people out of our business.
Yeah.
I think that's real key. Yeah. Because I don't with my mom, I don't tell my mom if my wife pisses me off. Okay. I don't tell my sister if my wife, or any of my sisters for that matter, if
Hold on. Now, so I'm gonna ask you a question, because you said you keep it private. What do you feel about social media stuff? Because for me, I don't post pictures like that, because at the end of the day, I don't want people all in my business. I don't need you to know what's going on in my life. I post my kids so that way they can see them growing up. But to be honest with you, I don't post pictures about my relationship or do nothing like that because it's nobody's business. How do you feel about that?
But see here, I agree and disagree. I don't post anything like if me and my wife going through it. And this is funny because one time there's this girl, she's a friend of ours, right? Mm-hmm. And she moved out of state. And one time it was so crazy. This happened at least, I want to say like maybe 6-7 years ago. Mm-hmm. And me and my wife were getting into it tough. And this is like right when I started really getting into like Facebook and Instagram and, you know, just really like I post my whole life, waking up, you know,
like most people,
you know, like remember when people used to do the post, the status where it says your name, Richard is, and I'll say sleeping, Richard, you know, and so it was crazy because I was like who banging a little bit on my wife. I was I was pissed. I came home. I was just going. It was a bad day. Yeah. And I remember my homegirl, our mutual friend, Josie, you know. And Josie's younger than me and my wife, right? And this was so dope of Josie because she put on the post like she didn't like try to make it go further or anything like that. She just kind of checked me a little bit, and it was in a very nice way. You know, she was like Richard,
like what happened?
Well, it was something that I was going through like with my wife, and I was kind of like Facebook venting. You know, I was venting on social, right? All the way wrong, right? Just wrong. Yeah. I mean, I know.
Because at the end of the day, because I don't know, I'm just, I can't say I'm not guilty of it, but I wasn't doing it more so on my end. I was doing it to basically put some man on notice, like it could get you hurt out here, and that's right. That's the only time I've ever done that.
No, see, with me, I was like, I forgot what it was, but it was something like, oh, you know, come home, long day work, boom, 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 something like that, and I was just frustrated. And so Josie, she says to me, she's, you know, on the comment, she says, real classy, she was like, Richard, stop it. Don't blast my sister like that.
Okay.
Not cool. Right?
So how'd that make you feel?
And I had to, well, I mean, I felt like crap. I felt like crap because she was right. I was in my feelings.
Why though? But why though? I mean, at the end of the day, and see, this is what I was telling you earlier. If you can't be real about your relationship, then what's the point of it? Like, I'm not out here trying to make it seem like everything is all happy-go-lucky. At the end of the day, if I feel something, this is what I always tell people. When you around
me, but some things you just can't put up there.
Why?
Man.
Why?
Well, because, you know, when you put something up on Facebook or any type of social media, man, you got to prepare yourself for the response. You know what I mean? You got prepare yourself for the backlash. You have to prepare yourself. Is this something that's really that important that you want to let the world know?
But see, this is the funny thing. Why do they feel like they need to comment or do anything? Like my thing is this.
Because I put it up there.
I always love people that have their opinions. And
true. Everybody has.
I'll give you one example. I had a female that actually hit me up on social media. This probably was maybe, I want to say maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And she asked me, she goes, man, and this is when I, like, because, you know, every now and then I post pictures of my situation, you know, let everybody see we having fun, his family, hey, you know, stuff like that. But anyways, she asked me, she goes, I really like looking at all the things that you post, and your kids are beautiful. But let me ask you this question because I want to get married at some point. Does your wife know about all the other pictures that you like when you're liking pictures? And I said, no. And I asked her, I said, what do you mean? And she goes, well, I noticed you like a bunch of different things. You like guns. You like.
That's what I like, though.
But I also noticed that you like a lot of women's pictures, too. And, you know, like, and, you know, they'll either be in bikinis or, you know, beautiful women and, you know, no judgment. But I want to know, like, is that okay? Or do you think she would think that's okay? And I said, okay, well, first of all, because, you know, I got a little offended for a second because I'm trying to figure out why you in my business worried about what I like and why you worried about what she know what I like. But the thing was, like this. The thing about me is I'm an open book. I'm very flamboyant. I'm going to tell you like it is. So at the end of the day, if I see a big booty girl walk across the street and my girl right there, I'm going to look and be like, God damn, baby, you see that shit? We going to talk about that together.
I agree. Every relationship should get to that point to where you can, because here's the thing, the ass still exists. The booty's still the booty's still gonna be there. The girl is still gonna be there. Like, God gave us eyes to look. I mean,
but see, that's the thing though. They think when you get married, you're not supposed to be into that. You're not supposed. Ain't go to hell. Because at the end of the day, if a girl with big booty walk by, I'm gonna look. And if my girl right there too, I'm gonna make sure
not disrespectful with it.
I'm gonna tap her. Hey, look.
I mean, as long as you're not disrespectful with it, because I'll sit there, me and my wife, we'll hang out and stuff. I'll be like, dang, honey, she's fine. You see that? She'd be like, oh yeah, she's cute, And
hold on, do a trip you out when she catch it before you do most of the time?
Man, sometimes
like you be like, what? And she be like, you didn't see her walk by? I be like, nah, man, I don't know what I was doing, but damn it, I missed it.
Hey, but the only time I don't look, like, real talk, the only time where I'm just like this, like all the way,
right?
She's PMSing, bro. I'm not trying to get cut.
I don't deal with that. I don't deal with that at all, man.
Oh, yeah.
But see, at the same time, like, I'm not really checking for that for the most part, anyways. Like I always tell people, if your man out there checking and doing stuff like that all the time, it's probably because he was a late bloomer. He didn't get it when he was younger. So at the end of the day, he's older. He know a lot about himself now. So, he thinking like, yeah, I want to see that. Or, yeah, I'm looking for that. But see, man, that stuff don't impress me.
But then there's some overdo it. Like, overlooking is kind of disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, if you just got married and you're like, every single thing that passed by, you just got open eyes like this, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
It definitely is.
Yeah, if it's every now and then, because when you get married, like, you married your best friend, right? You married your best friend. You should be able to be yourself. And I think that's what happens. Two people, they end up not being themselves in the marriage. They be who they think they're supposed to be in the marriage.
But see, that's the thing, though. And see, when you said best friend, to me, it's kind of like, yeah, that's supposed to be your best friend, but at the same time, you still have to work for that relationship.
You have to.
It's not like, regardless, she's supposed to be your best friend or he's supposed to be your best friend because you're together. But that don't necessarily mean like y'all vibing like that and y'all have that type of relationship. Like, you still got to work towards that. And I think for the most part, when most people be in these relationships, they feel like, because we married, yeah, you my best friend. I'll look at you dead in your face and say, you sure the hell ain't. What you think? Because at the end of the day, you got to do something to make me feel like you are invested in this relationship and you are my best friend. You don't just get that just because that's the title. That's just like a man don't get to be a father just because he had a baby.
Oh, that's true. And just because you bust one don't mean you're going to be a good father. You're right. And on that note, I want to thank our sponsors again, Chris. I want to definitely thank Shades of Africa and the Urban Sentinel, because again, this is our first show where we're live. And so we couldn't do this show without, of course, Tony Breedlove and also the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network, but mainly our sponsors. Go over there to the website and check out our sponsors. The website is hottopictalkradio.com, /sponsors. You can also check out our other shows too that we've done before the live video. But Chris, I mean, getting back to what you said, you're right, man. I mean, it's a trip, man. It's a trip. But what do we do about that?
You just gotta stay. You gotta go back to the basics. I mean, at the end of the day, when you be in this relationship, you gotta remember things are changing every day, every week, every year, every month. I'm missing that too. But at the end of the day, we gotta always remember that. So it's like there are certain things. Like, I think right now, and it come with age, because I think like right now, I look at certain things that I do, and then I try to understand maybe from her side of it, but not just with her, just within life, period. Like, I have my opinions. I feel the way I feel. And at the same time, when I see like somebody is really passionate or really coming back at me, I kind of set myself back, because I'm like, if this person is passionate about it, obviously they feeling some type of way. So I need to respect that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't just hold on to my...
Yeah, and sometimes you have to agree to disagree. Like, me and my wife, when we disagree with something, we just disagree. You know, we disagree, but we still respect each other, because, like, I know her role as my wife and she knows my role as her husband.
Right.
So I think too, that's probably like a good little thing right there. People have to know their roles in the marriage for the marriage to be successful.
If there is any anymore.
You said if there is a role?
Yeah, because you got most people nowadays thinking there are no roles. We do the same thing.
I think that's part of the problem, though.
It definitely is a part of the problem.
Yeah, because people think that, oh, there's no roles, and oh, there's no roles. No, there is roles. Like there is a role, definitely a role.
Yeah.
Like I'm sales and my wife is operations.
Right.
You know, and I remember this one guy, single cat, older cat I used to work with a while ago. He tripped out because I said, man, I run my marriage. My marriage is kind of like a business. And he was like, why you say business? I said, well, I needed a license for it, so it's a business.
Okay. You know? Hey, for real.
Yeah, I needed a license for it, so it's a business. I said, in order for it to work, the business to work, I have my department, and I have to be successful in my department. I'm sales, and my wife is operations. And as long as we're both, you know, successful in our jobs, in our roles, you know, then we'll be okay. You know, and he was like, but there's so many other things. I said, well, think about it. I said, you know, my oldest daughter, she was like the little manager, you know, over the other, you know, and she had her roles. And with her, she would sit there and make sure that she was low-key teaching her younger sisters how to put away the dishes or how to, you know, cook a little meal or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and
but
so
my wife
like
did it. Forget them kids roles. Let's talk about them adult roles. Because I'll tell you like this: you got roles. You have roles that you're supposed to be providing, like as a man and a woman. And let's provide those roles as far as how we carry ourselves too. Like we can't be getting out of shape. We can't be getting fat and then thinking he's supposed to still love me the same. Yeah, no. Because at the end, I'm gonna
go to the store and give me some honey bun buns. Give me some bun buns.
Well, it's like at the end of the day, it's like you got your moment. But I tell you like this: if you getting fat and doing all that kind of stuff, you're sinning in the relationship. Yeah. That's a sin. I'm just telling you.
It is. No, well, it is because you think that person doesn't have any options. And today we live in a society where everything is happening so fast to where, you know, if a guy doesn't feel like it's going to work with that woman, it doesn't matter how long he's been with that woman, he's going to leave.
Right.
And women are the same way.
Hey, I'll tell you like this, you have a lot more women actually making those moves nowadays because guess what? They making the same type of money. And they have a bunch of them up. So they don't feel tied down to no man. And the funny thing is most people won't talk about that. They still talk about men. They say men are like that. A lot of women are like that nowadays. And I mean, it's kind of sad, but I mean, hell, it is what it is. Do you?
They'll keep it pushing, definitely. You know, women will keep it pushing. And because I think, but see, a woman has to be real tired to leave. I think, in my opinion,
I don't think that same concept exists anymore. I don't think it exists anymore. Maybe in older generation, maybe, but I'm saying like, let's just say like 20s now. I don't think they understand that.
So you think like right now it's just like okay, women in their 20s will just bounce out. Is that what you're saying?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I think my generation is the last of making it last, making it try to work. I would say anybody under 30 right now probably doesn't have that same drive, that same mentality. Because you got to look at it like this. Society has changed so much. You have too many distractions. Like social media is a big distraction on why most relationships don't last. Like be real about it. You have so many people that are now looking at their relationships through social media based off of how many pictures you post of your relationship. Right. How many
that's
likes.
True.
Or you know, who's he liking or who's she liking? You know, that's why I said like when you be in relationships, you don't have time for stuff like that. Like I know my wife was on Facebook and I was on Instagram and we kept it separate because my thing was this: I don't have time to be looking and seeing stuff that I felt like when you have access to stuff like that and you guys can see each other's stuff, I feel like it makes you see stuff that you probably shouldn't see or you don't want to see, like different people making comments. At the end of the day, you can't control what somebody's going to say. You can't control an old friend from high school or an old boyfriend coming on talking about, hey, you looking good, and you know who that person is. You see what I'm saying?
But would you feel some type of way about that, or like?
To be honest with you, I don't even care. Because at the end of the day, that's what you got to be secure within your own self.
Yeah, because my wife, I mean, she's with friends on Facebook with some of her exes and stuff, and I could care less, to be all the way honest with you.
It's because you're secure with yourself. But most men, come on, let's keep it real. Most men not secure with that. So at the end of the day, they see that ex, they gonna ask what's that about, and then guess what's happening next? He gonna follow his ex too,
or delete, or you might see the blended Facebook. You know how people they do the couple.
I hate that shit. That shit's so gated. That's so. I hate it.
It's like, soon as you see it, okay, who cheated? Who did what?
I'm acting like y'all love each other that much. Y'all niggas was just arguing last week, but y'all got the same shared face on your Facebook. Y'all don't even like each other.
Right.
I'll tell you like this. I'm putting relationships on blast when people come on here like that. Because like I said, I ain't got time for that. You posting pictures like, we love each other, but y'all barely even talk. Y'all don't even talk. Y'all don't hold hands. Y'all don't do nothing. You was just at the club last weekend, but you love him.
Right, that part.
And I'm not judging. Like I said, ain't no judgment on that. I'm just saying, if you spend more time at the club than at home, shut up. Don't post all them pictures like that. Get on out of here. I don't even got time to hear that stuff.
No, that's true, man. I agree. But
that's why half the time I keep scrolling. You ain't gonna get a like from me. I'm gonna keep scrolling. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny, man. That is hilarious. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's one of those situations where, I guess people shouldn't give up on marriage, because, and then keep God involved in the middle of it. People shouldn't give up. I mean, granted, you were a different.
You made me mess up my phone saying that.
No. What I'm saying is, look, you and I were different 20-something-year-olds. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
Like, based on days, 20-something-year-olds, we were completely different. Because you got married when you were 20-something. I got married when I was 20-something.
Yeah.
Like early, right?
Man, I was 21. That was dumb. I wouldn't nobody getting married. I was 21.
Wait, you were 21 though? I was at your wedding,
bro. Nah, hell no. I came up in there looking stupid. I want her. It's me. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. That's why I be telling people, don't do it. It's stupid. You ain't even gonna know that person in 10 years. Y'all gonna be totally different people. You gonna hate her. He gonna hate you.
Hey, shout out to Ashonda, man. Ashonda and Mr. Suge, man. Hey, I'm glad they tuned into the show tonight, man. I'm glad they tuned in and commenting and stuff. That's what's up, Ashonda. I see you. And I saw you too, Suge. Shout out to you, Mr. Suge. Yeah. No, okay, so to get married at 21 is dumb, basically.
It's dumb. To be honest,
it's dumb.
Getting married in your 20s, period, is dumb. Period.
Yeah, you got to kind of go through it. Yeah.
Well, the reason why I say that is because as men, we don't really start calming down until we get into our 30s. Like I said, I look at all my boys.
Deep in our 30s.
Exactly.
Not just in our 30s.
See, for me, the reason why I thought it was cool was because, I was clubbing since I was 14 years old. I had already been going to clubs Tuesday night, Thursday nights, Friday nights.
Wait, you were getting drunk day when you were like 16, weren't you?
Come on, man. Like I said, my boy was rapping. We was at the clubs. Right. Look, I'll tell you like this. I wasn't going to no club where I had to wait in no line. We was coming straight in through the back door. We had our drinks. He would perform. We would chill. We stay out till 2 a.m. So my thing was, when I turned 20, I was like, man, I moved to a boring neighborhood. I'm not going to say. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I was like, shit, what's next?
Why not say it? Represent your neighborhood, your boring neighborhood.
That ain't my neighborhood. But at the end of the day, I moved out here to calm down land. And I thought, I guess that's what you do. You get a job and then you get married. Stupid. You don't do that. You keep living. You figure out what you want next in life. I'll tell you like this. Like I said, it was a blessing. My kids held my marriage together. And a lot of people see, like I said, most people won't be real about it.
Yeah, they won't be real
about that. They'll say, oh, I love my wife. You a goddamn lying. You don't even go to church. Go to hell. Right. So anyways, like I was saying, my kids held my marriage together because at the end of the day, you got to start looking at what's important. And that's what I did. I looked at my life and I said, what's more important? Tearing my household apart or, you know, trying to get out here and be selfish. Because that's really all it is you want to be selfish and
that's
do
true.
you. And
no, that's true.
Like, I'm going to say something nasty, but anyways.
Hey, but see, especially like when you get like close to 40, like me, I'm close to 40. You know, I'll be 40 next year. Okay. And, you know, you start thinking about, at 40 is different. Like, how old are you, Chris?
33. Like, I don't even know.
Okay.
33.
So you 33. When you get to 40, you start looking at stuff like, this is my life. Right? Okay. This is what it is. Wait, hold on. Yeah, 24, married, 24 and a half. Divorced, I wasn't ready. Okay, Ashonda, you weren't ready. Okay. You weren't ready. So in 6 months, you got divorced. Okay. That happens. You weren't ready.
It happens.
That happens. But see, when you're 40 years old, when you're about 40 years old, you either go down two paths. You go down that path of, I'm going to be a hoe again, right? I'm going to be a man and I'm going to be a hoe.
That's all I was thinking.
And right. I'm going to be a hoe again because I missed out in my 20s, you know? And so I'm going to go ahead and go out there and do my thing. Or you really start making those building blocks to make a really great relationship. You know what I mean?
Like, it also depends on how solid you are in your life.
Right.
Because if you don't have a good job, if you don't have things lined up to where your life is actually going good, then those not right. You like, shoot, I just got paid. My rent is paid. I'm finna go to the club.
I'm about
to find me somebody that want to hang out tonight. Look, let me want to put on this Netflix and chill? Question mark. But I only say that because I see it so often. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. That's very true, man. Like this is crazy, man, because we do see it now. Like you see the women that are like maybe in their late 30s, you know, getting to their 40s and stuff, and you see some of the hardships and things like that they went through now. And it's almost like now they realize like how to keep a good man now.
Right. I don't know about that.
You ever, huh?
I don't know about that. These women out here be tripping.
No, some of them do. When they get around 40-some years old, because they've been through some stuff, they realize, like, okay, I know how to keep a good man now. Like, for real.
I'm telling you.
They do.
Hey, I'm going to tell you like this.
Hey, at least how to get it.
It'll be some, but then you got those ones that be running their mouth, because I ain't got time for that. Nah, this kind of stuff. Well, stay single and shut the hell up, because ain't nobody got time for that. I'm 42. I got my own life, too. I ain't got time to be here. And see, and like I said, it's cold to say it like that, but it's like, you got to understand something. I think a lot of women forget this when they get older, because at the end of the day, yeah, you done been through some things, but guess what? That man has too. So while you sitting up here talking about what you ain't putting up with, he thinking the same thing.
He ain't putting up either.
Exactly. But while you sitting up there running your mouth, he looking at you like, I'm about to go in and get this tonight and keep messing with the other girls, because I don't know if this gonna last.
After 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock, I'm calling her after 10, maybe 11. That's it. You know, because we categorize women too, right?
Yeah, you know, sure do. Look,
I know some of my older cats that are single, man, and they tell me, you know, like, yeah, I got a few, you know, this one's for this one's for that, you know, especially like when they've been through a bad divorce, you know.
Yeah.
Start categorizing. Yeah. So, you know, it's interesting, man. You know, I think so the good age to get married then is probably
mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
I would say, because this is the thing. If you want kids, 30. I think
if you want kids, 28. No, if you want kids, 28. Because by that time you went to college, you got your career going probably by now. About 28.
I don't know though, man. Because women change. 30 do something different to women. Like, I don't know what it is, but 30 does something different to women. That's why I said
that's that thing that happened.
Yeah, I think for men need to get married in their 30s. Women can usually probably get married somewhere between 27 to, you know, maybe 30, you know, because at the end of the day, now they're starting to know what they want in their life.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
That's true. But if they don't have kids though, bro, I mean, they gotta get married kind of young and things like that. You know, I mean, it can still work.
You got women having babies at 40. You straight, girl. Go on and bust it out. You good.
Yeah, but the risk, man, the risk at 40 years old is dangerous for a woman to have a child at 40.
Well, no, you shouldn't be having a baby at 40 years old. I wasn't talking about 40 having a baby. I was talking about 30. If you 40 years old, damn.
So have a baby at 30 and get married at 37? Wait, what you talking about? That's bass backwards.
That's damn right. Hey, don't tell me that's the one that's with him. That's with him for 15 years. Talking about, yeah, I guess we'll get married now. Or talking about, we're talking about, man, I don't know if I'm ready yet.
Well, she been hanging around pretty tough for a little while.
Right.
Now. I almost got her trained.
Hey, but it tripped me out though, because you really be trying to figure the logics on this. Like y'all been paying bills and y'all everything is matching up for almost 15 years, and you sitting there talking about, man, bro, I don't know if she the one.
Man, bro, she might be a keeper. Wait, and then hold on. If you've been together for 15 years and then decide to get married, like for real, are you really supposed to have a bachelor party?
Oh my. I swear.
Seriously, are you really
supposed they be doing it?
I mean, after all that time, right?
But I'll tell you like this: we come up with any dumb thing. Yeah, I'll tell you like this. Sometimes you can't listen to us. Men gonna say some dumb things, and like I said, that's one thing I'll be.
No, listen to us all the time. Hey, let's bring Tony on, man. Let's bring Tony on. Tony, open up your camera if you can. I want to bring Tony onto the show.
You know she's gonna have something to say about that part now.
Tony, yeah. What's that?
You know she's gonna have something to say about men and they logic.
I am so dumb. I'm on here cracking up.
You already know.
OMG, you guys are a mess.
Go ahead.
You guys are a mess.
No, what's up, like, Tony? Is she on?
Yes. I'm here.
Is she gonna come on the way?
There she
you know what I'm saying? Okay. Look, because I was about to
start
talking mess.
Wait. I know your internet's not acting up.
Hey, it ain't
me. Who knows? Who knows?
It wasn't me this time.
So
what's up, Tony?
It's me. Oh, not a lot over here. I'm over here cracking up.
She ain't coming on, man. So look, let's talk about
here
for a second. Let's go on and dog these women out real quick. You ready?
No, I'm not dogging women out. No, I'm not gonna do that.
All right, let's dog the men out there. We got to dog somebody out before the show go on.
I know.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now. There you go. Good.
Is she on?
Yes.
So what did you think about everything what we were saying, Tony? Because you being a mature woman, you know.
Oh God, I'm so glad. I'm glad you said mature. I'm really glad you said mature and not old.
Yeah, you being. What are your thoughts?
You know what? For mature women, I don't want to piss nobody off. I really don't. I don't want to piss anybody off. But for mature women, I'd have to say, first of all, y'all shouldn't be having no damn babies. Okay. Over 40, leave it alone. Okay.
Right.
It's not for you. Okay. Because I agree with Mr. Suge. He said having them babies and they come out looking like they 40. I get it.
Right.
Old ass looking babies.
They come out talking. That is
but
true.
you know what? But you guys hit a lot of good points. You really did. You hit a lot of good points. And I tell you, I've been sitting over here cracking up. And this is not like when we were doing Blog Talk. I could send messages all during the show. So, oh my God. Yeah, this is just live. But we do what we do, right? But great show. Great show.
First show. First live video show. Hey, Chris, good job, brother. Good job, man.
Had a great time tonight, man. Hey, but I'll tell you like this. We're going to have a lot more crazy topics. You know, tonight we wanted to keep it light. You know, come on.
Absolutely.
And, you know, kind of show everybody this is what it's going to be like. But at the end of the day, it's only going to get better and better. Make sure you're sharing this with all your friends. Make sure you're getting your aunties on here. And bikinis, posting pictures. Make sure they submit their username so we can follow you.
Wait,
we can hit the
hold
like
on. What are you doing? Wait, hold on. What are you doing? Wait, hold on. You married? Hey, turn his mic off. Turn his mic off. He trying to get resumes.
Hey, hold on, but why you drop
video?
that like that? Hey, you sound like that girl. You sound like that girl now.
No.
Why you dropping it like that?
Man, hold on. Look, I don't see nothing wrong with a woman dropping it, but you putting out, look, submit your resumes, put your application in, make sure you like the page. My personal email is this. You can text me right here, man.
See, adding all those things. You know I ain't said all that. But it's all good, though. Hey, check this out. He gonna get it a whole lot more. Trust me. It's gonna be shows where I don't let up. So we gonna have some fun.
There's gonna be shows. I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't nobody give it to me. I'm always ready.
No. Next time.
See, this is the part where I was afraid of.
We out?
This is the part that I was afraid of.
Hey, that's my brother from another mother right there. Chris, how many years have I known you now, man? I've known you for how many years?
Man, I don't know, man. I'll mess around and put your age out there if I did.
So look, here's the thing, Tony. If we got a problem, I could just roll to his house. We can fight.
Yeah, right.
Hey, he ain't rolling nowhere. He got work in the morning. He ain't got time to walk back.
Look,
go back and land.
I'm gonna give you the Chris bullshit face.
No, we can fight. Yeah. You can give it
Let's put this. You see how the face gets serious now, because at the end of the day, guess what? You talking about you can come to my house tonight, brother.
Hey, don't let the smile fool you. Don't let the smile fool you. Don't let the smile fool you.
OMG.
Hey, just because you lay back in the bed like that don't mean you relax, brother. I just need you to
I'm always chilling. Always chilling.
What's up, man? We stand up. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about that. We beat about that life.
Wait, why'd you do the Michael Jackson thing with your neck right now?
I'm just saying, I ain't gonna sit down and talk. I'm stand up. I'm
Michael Jackson thing, like you were like Shimon. Like, wait, hold on. What's going on?
Shimon.
Y'all better leave me alone.
Oh man. Let's close this out. Let's close it out. Till next week.
Are we doing final thoughts?
Oh my gosh.
Are we doing that?
Well, give your final
thoughts.
What are your final thoughts?
Yeah.
My final thought is don't be fake about your relationship. Don't post pictures to make your relationship seem happy. Just be happy. If it ain't shit, it ain't shit. Work on it. It don't mean you gotta impress everybody else. Don't nobody care about your relationship. When you go to bed, it's just y'all two. They looking at your pictures and they like, oh, they think they cute, but they talking mess about you. Just be real, and be real when you're talking about your relationship with other people. Because guess what? We know if you're lying. We see everything. You talk about it all the time. That's it.
I can't with you tonight, Chris.
I'm done.
I cannot with you tonight. Oh my God. If your relationship ain't shit, don't try to make it some shit. Just it ain't shit.
Exactly.
But
that was your final thought.
Oh my God.
That's my final thought.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God. That was funny.
Oh my God. All right. So you ready to get out of here?
Yeah. I'm ready to get out of here. I mean, real quick. My final thoughts, look, honestly, work it out, work through it, love yourself. Remember that the relationship is a partnership and it's not ownership. I think if you can keep it simple and just find your magic within it, then you're good. That's my final thought.
Great job, Montel Williams. You did a wonderful job tonight.
You know what? I was trying to find something to say. I really was. I was trying.
Man, I can't hear Tony. I'm upset about that right now.
Richard, you hear me, right?
I hear you perfectly fine.
Of course you do.
No, I know you hear me.
Of course you do.
You'll always hear me. I ain't going nowhere.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We're getting out. For real, we're getting out this time. Oh, my gosh. You've been listening to Man to Man.
Good night, y'all.
Shut up, Chris. Shut up.
I can't hear nobody.
Oh my God. So you've been listening to Man Radio here with Richard Hall and Chris Smith. You can join Man Radio right here on their Facebook page under two Man Radio. We're here every Thursday night. We're beginning to do these broadcasts by live stream. Stop it, Chris. Doing these live streams now every Thursday night, beginning at 7:00 p.m. Pacific, 9:00 Central, and 10:00 on the East Coast. Hot Topic Talk Radio Network and Man Radio is sponsored by Shades of Africa in 2 locations, in the city of Corona and in the city of Long Beach. Also sponsored by SPMG Media. Thank you, Ms. Gina Smith, for all that you do, making sure that we continue to be relevant in the news. This camera stuff is going to kill me. Also sponsored by
like
the Urban
like Jet Magazine.
I know.
It's like Jet Magazine.
Yeah.
Also, will you guys stop?
You want to get back in your Mad Magazine? Ain't no Jet.
No, that's you with the big old bigger than your face.
It's bigger than my face. Wait a minute. I was actually surprised they found that hat to fit that dome. That's why it's called a Savage. Because you got to find something real big to put on that damn head.
See,
hey, sip some of your water.
That part. Okay. Also sponsored by. Sponsored by.
These waves. That's all it is.
Chris,
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Chris.
Be sick.
Also sponsored by the Urban Sentinel, headed by Editor-in-Chief Reggie Kearney, who happens to also be the host of Real World News Radio right here under the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network. So again, thank you so much for joining us right here on Man Radio on Facebook. And again, every Thursday night. No more call-ins. You can see them act a fool. Okay?
Next week.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday, damn it.
7:00 all day. Every Thursday.
By ourselves. 2 men.
Sundown.
1 show.
Run up. 2 men. 1 show. Say night, Chris.
Night, nigga.
Say night, Chris.
Say night, nigga.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Peace.
It's been real. We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in tonight. See y'all next week.
And